I'm Jason, and this is spring semester of 2020. Let's go over an eye diagram listing the different parts of the eye, and we'll go ahead and start with the cornea. So, cornea is here in green, and it provides a way for the light to enter the eye as well as protecting it and helping to focus the light. It works with the lens in order to focus that light onto the retina. And an interesting fact about it is that the cornea is what is modified during laser surgery or LASIK, as well as being modified by a contact lens being put over it. Up next, we got the conjunctiva. This is a clear membrane that covers the sclera and the inner portion of the eyelids, and it helps to reduce the friction caused by blinking, as well as stopping dust and other particles from getting into the eye. Then we have the iris. This is the colored portion of the eye, and it helps to determine how much light can enter the eye by changing the size of the pupil. Speaking of the pupil is this round hole, and it's not actually a structure. It's just a hole in the iris, and it allows for light to pass into the eye, and it appears black because very little of the light that enters escapes back out. So the interior portion of the eye relies on the aqueous humor for nutrients in order to function. The aqueous humor is a fluid that is produced by the ciliary body and which is constantly being produced and then drained through the canal of Schlemm. Moving on, the lens is located here, and it's behind the iris and the pupil, and it helps to focus the light onto the retina. It does this, and when contracted by the ciliary body, it helps us focus on objects that are near, also called accommodation. Speaking more on the canal of Schlemm, these help to direct the flow of aqueous humor back into the body's venous system so it can be recycled by the body. And then we have the ciliary bodies, which produce the aqueous humor, and they also contain muscles which help to contract the lens so we can focus on objects that are near to us. And then attaching the ciliary body to the lens are the suspensory ligaments. That just keeps the lens behind the iris and pupil, and it allows for the ciliary body to contract. Following that, we have the vitreous humor, which makes up about 2/3 of the volume and weight of the eye. It's a clear jelly-like substance that is made up of 99% water. Back here, we have the optic nerve, which is composed of a bundle of fibers which transmit the information the eye receives in the form of light back to the brain, which then lets us see an image. In some ways, it's very similar to the cables connecting a computer monitor to a computer, in that the computer receives the information, it goes down the cable, and then an image shows up on the monitor. And then right where the optic nerve exits into the eye, it's kind of hard to see, but that gray dot there is the optic disc. It's also known as the blind spot. It's where the axons from the optic nerve enter the eye, and because there's no photoreceptors there, just the nerves from the optic nerve, there's not actually any way to view anything there, so it's an anatomical blind spot. And then if we move on, we've got the macula and the fovea centralis. The macula is the area of the retina which has the most cone cells. Cone cells are the photoreceptor cells that allow us to see during the day. They also interpret details, and they also provide color reception. And the macula is where the high concentration are located. At the center of the macula is the fovea centralis, which is this purple dot here, and it has the highest concentration of cone cells, and is the only location of the eye where people have 20/20 vision. Lining the back of the eye is the retina, which is where most people assume which does have the highest concentration of photoreceptors. Around the macula and the fovea centralis, you have cone cells, which interpret light and details during the day. And then towards the peripherals, you have rod cells, which help see during the night, and they also help see movement. And then where the retina meets the choroid, you have the ora serrata, which is just the connection between the two. And then the choroid is the layer just behind the retina and the sclera, and it helps provide nutrients to all of the oxygen and nutrients to the retina, as well as the other cells of the eye. Outside of the choroid, you have the sclera, which is the white portion of the eye, and it's made up of tough fibers, and it also provides a layer of protection, and it goes all the way around the eye to the cornea and to the back. So this has been a quick review of the diagram of the eye. I'm going to go ahead and just hold it here for a second so that way you can see where all the lines point. And have a great day.